Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Middle of Nowhere Travel Life. Thank you all who have been following this video series. I think it's sort of important, the things I'm talking about, because I actually experienced them. And hopefully they are some help to you as well. Um, if they're not, or if you want to hear other things about the topics that I'm talking about, you can just message under this live broadcast and let me know, and I will definitely go back and talk about those things or email you privately. Today, I'm going to talk about pets. And I have to say that it's taken me this long to actually be able to talk about it. It may sound odd, but, and excuse me, I have no makeup on. It is like, except for lipstick, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And since I went to bed last night at, oh gosh, 12:30 or 1, it seems early. And I have my coffee, so I can talk and drink my coffee. All right, pets. Now, I'm sure many of you have pets, and I had two cats, Pearl and Enzo, and they were the most delightful little creatures ever. Believe me, they lit up our world. Our kids are grown. We have no kids at home, and we decided to move to Thailand. We said, okay, well, we'll just take the cats. It's a no-brainer, of course. We'll pack them up and put them on a plane and take them with us. Not so much. But we didn't find that out till 2 weeks before we were leaving. So we had made a plan. We would take them. I had talked to my vet. She was on board. She was going to help get all the paperwork together, because there is an amount of paperwork that you have to have moving overseas if you decide to take your pets. Some countries want you to keep them in quarantine for an amount of time. Thailand does not. You can actually pick up your pet right at the airport. Sometimes there's money involved of how long they're going to stay. So you might have to pay a little bit to get them out of quarantine after they land. That's just the nature of the beast. I've heard it happening to many people that have brought their pets, that you have to pay the airport workers to get your pet speedily. So we decided to take our pets, and 2 suitcases. No biggie. We found out how to do it. We had to get certain amount of carriers. But what we didn't know is that there are only certain airlines that will take pets on their, on the cargo. And so once we found that out and the amount of time it would be, it really was disturbing to me. There was an airline that charged more than our ticket for each pet. And the time was 42 hours. Now, sometimes they're willing to take the pets off the plane if you have a layover so you can spend time with them, but not always. And granted, our trip it's a long way from the United States. It's in Thailand. I have a friend that took her dog, Carrie Ann Appleton. Hello. And she was able to get her dog to her place, no problem. But my cats were going to have to be in and out on planes for 42 hours. When my vet found that out, she sat me down and said, are you taking your pets for you? Or are you taking your pets for them? And this is where we had to do a ton of soul searching, believe me. My husband said, you have to figure it out if we're going to take them. let's do the best possible thing we can do. But as time went on and 2 weeks before we were leaving, it was brutal because no way I looked at the scenario was it beneficial to my cats. And they were like my kids. Like, am I going to put them on the cargo for 42 hours and expect them to be okay at the end of the trip? What would their life be like in Thailand? Could they really go outside? Another thing that happened is I started looking online at the different apartments that we could rent, and no one, literally, no one took pets, which was very disturbing. You could get a house and they would take pets, but not apartments. And we were not prepared to rent a house at that time. So the next question was, what in the heck are we going to do? So we decided that we needed to find them a good home. And I'm telling you, that was the hardest thing that I ever had to do. I cried every day. I cried every night. I looked at them. I held them. I thought, oh my gosh, how can I ever give you guys up? Because you're my pets. Like, you stay with me till your life ends or my life ends, right? So basically what happened is we put out to friends that we needed to leave and that we needed to find a home for our cats. And the best scenario was that they were together because they had been together and they were buddies. And I just couldn't imagine splitting them up. We had people come over who referred to us and look at the cats, and they thought the cats were fabulous. But my cats were very intuitive. One family brought kids, and we didn't have kids, but the kid was very rambunctious, and my cats just went and hid. And of course, that was a no-brainer for us. I mean, I wasn't just going to hand over my cats because I was leaving and I was in a hurry. There was no way I was doing that. So I had to really find a good home, or else I wasn't leaving. And I got to tell you, but funny how the universe works. I don't know that I would have gone if, in fact, I knew that we couldn't take our cats until the last minute. If we had known sooner, I might not have gone. And it's funny how the universe works in that way. We were supposed to go, so we didn't find out until all of our stuff was sold, right? So that's kind of how that worked. So we had very many people come and check out our cats. And of course, beautiful cats. Enzo was a Norwegian forest cat, and Pearl was a, why can't I think of it now? Pearl is a Russian blue. So beautiful cats, well taken care of, all their shots up to date, seeing the vet once a year, chipped, just really in good shape. So one day I decided to put it on Facebook, and people were referring and saying, oh, I wish I could take your cats. I wish. And I was so tired of hearing it. I know people were well-wishing and trying to be kind, but it was like, oh, don't just tell me you want to take them. Somebody, please, that I know, refer me or take them, right? So one day, my dear, dear friend, Katie Demmel, she said, I think I know someone that's looking to have a couple of cats because she's a dog rescuer and they love pets and animals, and her kids are very much wanting a cat. So they came over and they did it right. I was impressed by Skylar the first time I met her. She was a warm soul, a kind-hearted person, and she came into my house and she just sat on the floor. And my cats came to her and they let her pet them. And they spent a few hours at our house just seeing how they felt about the cats and what kind of cats they really were. Because we can say our pets are really wonderful and fabulous, but they're our pets, right? So of course we think that. So they spent, her husband came and they spent a good couple of hours at our house just getting to know Enzo and Pearl. And I didn't expect them to want them right away. I said, you guys think about it. And if you want our cats, um, we would love for you to take them, but think about them and think about it. And really at that moment, Skylar said, no, we would love to take them. And I cannot tell you the weight off my shoulders to have some people that loved and could love my cats like I did. So we were very, very lucky that we found a very, very nice couple with two lovely little girls that treasured my cats. So about a week before we left, and all during that week, gosh, I loved them up. I put them in bed with me under the covers. I cried, I laughed, I thought about everything that they ever meant to me. And we packed them up and we gave them everything that they had, their carpetry and, their carriers and their food and their bowls and their toys and everything we took to their house. And I wanted to take them because I wanted to see where they were going to be. And of course it was lovely. And they were moving to 3 acres and they were going to start this really beautiful farm with horses and rabbits and dogs and cats. And it was just a perfect match. I mean, I couldn't have picked it out of a storybook, really. So we dropped them off a week before we left. And I was so grateful. But I have to tell you, it was so difficult because I love those cats so much. And I know all of you that have pets can relate. Our animals mean the world to us. They're part of our family. We love them till death do us part. So it was really difficult. But I was taking them to Thailand for me, not them. And once I got to Thailand, I realized how I did the right thing. Because we lived in a small apartment, they wouldn't have been able to go outside except on a deck. And Enzo loved to be outside. He was an outside cat once he got the smell of it. And Pearl, she could have kind of cared less, but there was no way that I could separate them. So I was really grateful that I found someone to take them and love them. And it's so funny. It's like Skylar always sends pictures on Facebook, or she'll always connect with me and just tell me how they're doing and how much they love them. And oh my gosh, I can't even tell you what that means to me. After being gone about 6 months in Thailand and coming back for my daughter's wedding last year, I had the opportunity to go back to see them at their house in I think Thornton, and I decided not to because I couldn't. I mean, I still was a basket case and cried about it. Every time I thought about them, I cried. It was every time I saw a picture, I cried. I just couldn't get past the fact that they weren't with me anymore. So, in all honesty, if you can find someone to take care of your pet while you're gone, like a family member, or you can actually find someone to take your pet, great. If you're not going a long distance, then by all means, get a crate, take your pet. Like if we were going to Mexico, I would have done everything I could to take my pets, but we were going around the world. I think there's so many great animal lovers in the world now that will come and take care of your pets. In fact, part of our travel is that I signed up on a website called trustedhousesitters.com. Now, this may be something you want to look into. Trustedhousesitters.com charges $119 to be a member. And what that means is that you can go anywhere in the world and house sit and stay in someone's house and take care of their pets while they're gone. You can do it in your area. You can do it in overseas. If, let's say, you wanted to go to France for a month, you can stay at a home for free and take care of pets. You just have to have the money to get there, your plane ticket, and food. But your accommodations, you're taking care of someone's pet or dogs or cats or whatever they have. So I'm very excited about that because that gives us the opportunity to maybe go check out a place before we want to spend a lot of time there and see if it's a place we would like to live or stay for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. So it's called trustedhousesitters.com, and you can actually travel and take care of pets if you're a pet lover. It's so funny because this year, when I'm going to Colorado here this coming month, I am going to go see my cats because over time, you understand you did the right thing. You feel better about your decision. And, you know, Skylar has invited me to come and stay and see my cats. And so this year, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually go there and see them and pet them and really release that angst I had so much about not being able to take them because they are happier than happy. Enzo has the opportunity to be outside all day, and Pearl has the opportunity to be in the house and be a lap cat and look out the window and maybe go outside if it's hot and just get some rays. So I can't tell you how important it is to really check out where you're going, if you're taking them for you or for them. I think if it would have been one cat, it might have been easier for us to do, but we had 2. And since we've been back to Seattle, we've house sit for our family who have dogs. So we were basically dog sitting. And we've loved it so much. But also in Thailand, the days that I was so sad that I didn't have my cats, they have these really great cafes. They're cat cafes. And you can go in and there's cats and you can sit with them and pet them and love them and have tea. And we did that quite often because there were quite a few in Chiang Mai in our neighborhood. So every time I felt sad that I didn't have my cat, I would go to the cat cafes and just love them up in the honor of Pearl and Enzo. So again, think about your pets when you decide to leave or take an extended time away, 6 months, because you'll be grateful that you did. We were really lucky in the 90s when we lived in Bangkok for 4 years. We had a rental house in Seattle, and what we did was we rented our house with the thought that someone had to take care of our cat while we were gone. So we provided the food, we provided the trips to the vet, all of that. And that worked out really wonderful because every year we would come home, we would go see the cat, and 2 college students, lovely women, they took care of our cat like it was their own because they loved cats. And so that worked out very well. And the funny thing was when we came back from Thailand in 2000, we went to pick up our cat because we moved to Colorado. And our cat acted like we never left. She got in the car, she moved with us to Colorado, and things picked up where we left off. So there's so many ways that you can support your pet in what you're doing. And sometimes it may be painful. It depends where you're at in your travel life. But thanks for listening and thanks for being there. And I would say today, hug your pet, love them, and just know that life kind of goes on if you decide to travel and live in another country. Um, there's always a way to find love for your pets. And I was one of the lucky ones. That's why I'm telling you it's possible. So thank you very much for listening. And please, please, please tell me what you'd like to hear about or that you've been thinking about if you travel, because I can tell you I might have some answers for you. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to Middle of Nowhere Travel Life. I'm Kathy Bacon, and I'll see you next time.